Jemmy Rabbit Smith Jr. is shown in the opening scene of the film using the restroom at a rather seedy-looking establishment. Some music is being played. He seems rather verdant as he wears headphones. Along with the typical hand motions associated with rapping, he seems to be mouthing the lyrics of the music he's listening to. Out of nowhere, he dashes to the restroom and throws up. We hear a variety of songs when he removes his headphones after he gets better. It's quite clear that he's in a nightclub. When he wants to go backstage, he leaves, but the doorman refuses to let him. After that, the future steps in, and rabbits are once again welcome, and it appears that Rabbit and Saul's friend Saul is completely enamored with prostitutes. The Cheese the White Guy Bob isn't very bright, and the gay insinuated intellectual Jay isn't much better. Even though they appear to be a rap group, Rabbit often performs here solo. For some reason, the five men return to the door just as Rabbit is about to enter, allowing Rabbit to retrieve his bag-turned-suitcase from a dumpster. It seems like the Rabbit's girlfriend recently ended their relationship. He granted her permission to retain the apartment and the car on the grounds that she is pregnant. Rabbit dismisses the skepticism of her friends regarding the pregnancy's veracity. After Rabbit changes into a fresh shirt from his bag, they make their way back to the club. The Sanctuary. Rabbit's friends are making fun of him for being anxious about the rap battle he's about to participate in. After a quick scene with the two competitors, including the current champion, Papa Doc, before Rabbit's round, Future, who is also the shelter's MC, gets the crowd pumped up for Rabbit's big fight. Going first, the opponent does a respectable 45 seconds. Each side has a certain amount of time to fight, and Rabbit gets to use the microphone. Hovering over a few words that resemble yo, he looks terrified as he addresses the crowd. Not only are Cheddar Bob and Rabbit the only white people that have been seen so far, but Rabbit also encounters a lot of hostile people. The audience loves rabbits, especially choke rabbits, which is not surprising. Even when his friends offer words of encouragement, he dismisses them and keeps walking away. Following a sequence showing Rabbit's travels through a pitiful section of Detroit, he finds a similarly pitiful trailer park and utilizes his key to enter one. Rabbit stepped in the middle of a passionate kiss between a mother and her boy toy on the couch. He changes his mind, and when Mom finally emerges, she's apologetic, hands him a beer, and irate that he didn't even bother to call or knock. The phone was disconnected when he tried to call. One of Rabbit's high school pals, Boy Toy, emerges. After Mom and Dad scolded him for his dismissal from Little Caesars and his new job at a plant, Greg seems to be sponging off of them in preparation for his impending windfall. Greg gets under Rabbit's skin, prompting the latter to hurl the beer bottle in his direction. Rabbit is told by Mom that he can stay, but that he must play. Greg, please. It becomes clear later on that Lily is Rabbit's pride and joy as he sings to his little sister. Rabbit later asks Mom for a ride to work the following morning while they're catching up in the kitchen. As a gift for his early birthday, she hands him the keys to her car. Rabbit attempts to start the car the following morning, but it is nearly dead. Saul feels bad for her, but he can't give her a lift since his mom has his car. After Rabbit misses his bus stop and arrives late to work, his boss threatens to fire him if he makes the same mistake twice. In his response, Rabbit first claims he is not to blame before requesting more shifts. Yeah, the boss finds it funny. Coming up to them, Alex now demands to speak with an employee. Boss abruptly ends Rabbit's offer to show her and sends him packing. That night, Rabbit watches as they leave, and it's clear that he has feelings for Alex. Rabbit and his friends go out clubbing. The choke was brought up by multiple people the night before. While Alex and her girl pal dance the night away at the club, Rabbit splits his attention between his friends and Alex. As the presentation is underway, it seems like a local business owner is volunteering to get Rabbit a free trial. Also, he's lending a hand to Alex as she puts together a book to pitch to modeling agencies. Alex and Rabbit decide to meet outside the club for a little chat. More than the Rabbit himself, Alex is captivated by Rabbit's star potential. Following a few drinks, his and her friends accompany him to school, where he and his brothers are housed by DJs. They make the decision to torch the house where a young girl was abducted and killed. By suggesting that it might have been Lily, these persuaded Rabbit. Arrived at work punctually the following day, although somewhat preoccupied. Not paying attention, he and a colleague are nitpicking and chatting. His ex-girlfriend unexpectedly shows up on his break and starts picking him up for breaking up with her. Rather than her, he assures her, it was him. She teases him mercilessly about his pathetic life and how he chokes during battle. They have some disagreements. This Rabbit, worried that this is his boss's last chance for redemption, persists in attempting to persuade her to leave. Once she departs, yes, the boss is present. Makes life difficult for him. The boss lets Rabbit off the hook when he refrains from claiming it's not his fault. After he meets up with his pals, they spend some time cruising around Detroit while jamming out to music. Walking past a parking lot, they see Papa Doc Slick and his gang relaxing. They get down with these rapping dudes, and even Rabbit gets in on the action. In an effort to play peacemaker and get Rabbit to do the free demo so that they can cash in when Rabbit gets their deal, Papa Doc's friends tease and harass him mercilessly. Tensions rise, but they do not explode. Rabbit spends the following day at the office listening to a female colleague rap about her life while she's out at the lunch truck area. An unpleasant male coworker starts ragging on her about how lazy and whiny she is, and he continues to target other employees, including the attractive, well-dressed gay man, before finally interrupting her. Rabbit interrupts the guy, raps him into submission, defends the gay man, disses the other man, and then lets the woman finish rapping. Coincidentally, Alex observes as Rabbit approaches and extends an invitation to go out with her. She demands that he take her somewhere now, trying to outdo him. Despite it being lunchtime, the plant is largely empty, so he drags her inside. And they engage in sexual activity. Greg tells Rabbit that he knows Mom is going to be evicted, even though Mom tried to keep it from him. He hits Mom. Greg verbally and physically abuses Rabbit's mother, which makes Rabbit very angry. Upon realizing that Lily had been watching the entire violent scene, Rabbit becomes quite agitated and eventually throws Greg out. Mom ends up on the front porch inebriated at a later date. While she's at home, Rabbit lends a hand. Greg dumped her after receiving his paycheck, according to Mom. Rabbit is to blame, according to Mom, who orders him to leave immediately. I have to go to bingo, she says merrily. Rabbit leaves Lily with a neighbor and goes for a stroll. After some consideration, Rabbit accepts Slick's offer of a demo. He seems to forego working for this, instead making his way to the neighborhood radio station to meet with the rising rap star who will assist him in obtaining the complimentary demo. While listening to the rapper's radio interview, Rabbit watches as Alex and the Slick get down in the adjacent room. Slick is beaten into a bloody pulp as he rushes in. Both the interviewee and the rapper seem utterly unaware of the window that separates the two rooms. We can all see that the demo idea never happened. As they enter the yard, Rabbit returns home, retrieves Lily from the neighbor, and continues on his way. Slick and his pals pull up in their car. After cleaning himself up, Rabbit orders Lily to lock the door before he gets pounded to a bloody pulp by the whole gang. Lily watches in horror. With a bag of groceries in tow, Mom returns home sober. Since she was successful in preventing their eviction, she is filled with joy and forgiveness. Bingo! In light of everything that has happened, Rabbit and Mom have a reasonable discussion during which he promises to work double shifts the following day to pay for the demo. While Rabbit and his pals are hanging out the day before the next rap battle, Rabbit finds out that Future enrolled him in another battle without her knowledge or consent. On the day of the fight, Rabbit and Future have a huge fight. Rabbit is busy working. However, he convinces the gay man to stand in for him for a couple of hours before the fight is supposed to begin. He reappears, reconciles with Future, and has yet another scene in the restroom. But this time he manages to hold it in. All of the men gather around him, bolstering his spirits. He advances to the finals against Papa Doc after defeating two men, once he finished second and once he won, by effectively responding to their raps. As a first step, Papa Doc decides to let Rabbit go. Predicting that Papa Doc will bring up all the embarrassing things that have transpired, Rabbit raps about them, first admitting his own shortcomings and humiliations, and then getting upset to embarrass Papa Document. Then, Rabbit triumphs and Papa Doc chokes. People are ecstatic about the victory afterwards, but Rabbit gets back to work because he needs the money to do the demo himself. As the saying "lose yourself" goes, we watch him walk away. In your opinion, how was the film? What do you think? Leave a comment down below. I appreciate everyone's time and attention. Subscribing is mandatory.